Welcome to your I Learn English Language live class. Today we are going to start the new chapter that is pronouns, right? So let's get started with it. Is the screen visible to everyone? Okay. So the chapter is pronouns, definition, and types. Now, before starting with the chapter or looking at its definition, first let us observe these sentences given on the screen. Okay, let us read it out. Jeremy studies in class 7. Okay, then Jeremy is good at mathematics. Jeremy works hard to score good marks in the examination. Jeremy attends the live classes regularly, which clears Jeremy's concepts. Jeremy is a sincere student. Right now, what we observe by reading this whole paragraph, we see that this word, the proper noun Jeremy, is coming again and again repeatedly in every sentence, right? Which is making this paragraph ambiguous, confusing, okay, and lengthy. So, in order to avoid such situation, we will try to read it out again, but in a different manner, without changing the meaning. Jeremy studies in class 7. He is good at mathematics. He works hard to score good marks in the examination. He attends the live classes regularly, which clears his concept. He is a sincere student. Now, what we observe over here is that in place, we use Jeremy in the first sentence because we have to introduce this person. And then when we are talking about the same person, we have replaced the word Jeremy with he. Why he? Because Jeremy is a masculine gender. Okay, so he. And here you can see his Jeremy's is replaced with his, right? So this is the function of a pronoun. What is the function of the pronoun? That is, it comes in place of a noun. Alright. A pronoun is a word which is used in place of a noun, which is used in place of a noun in a sentence. Yes, so this is the definition of the pronoun. That is, it's a word which is used in place of a noun in a sentence. Now, they are used, why are they used? They are used to avoid repeating the same noun over and over again. Alright, like we saw in the previous case, in the previous example. Now, let us move on and look at the types of pronouns. Here. See, there are 10 kinds of pronouns which we are going to study in this chapter. Okay. Uh, I will introduce the names, the kinds of the pronouns to you people today. Let us see. Personal pronoun, reflexive pronoun, then emphatic pronoun is there, possessive pronoun, demonstrative pronoun, interrogative pronouns, reciprocal pronouns, relative pronouns, distributive pronouns, and indefinite pronouns. Okay, so all these we will be studying in this chapter under specific headings. All right. So let us start with the first kind of pronoun, that is personal pronoun. What is a personal pronoun? Personal pronouns are used for a specific object or person, and they change their forms to indicate the different genders, numbers, case, and person speaking. Now, what do we mean by this? Personal pronouns of three kinds: first person, second person, and third person. Okay, And what is the first person? In first person, we are talking about ourselves. Okay, when you talk about yourself, that is the first person. That is I and we, right? Then second person is when I talk about you. That means I'm talking about the second person. Two people are talking, and first person is talking to the other person. That means he's talking to the second person. But when two people are talking and they are talking about some other person, that means they are talking about the third person. Okay? So they, he, she, all these are third person. Let's look at the example. Anna told him to take the food to them as soon as possible because it was urgently needed. Right? So you can see the pronouns which have been used over here. All these are personal pronouns. Okay, him, them, it. All these are personal pronouns. Now, the personal pronouns are different for different numbers. Okay, for singular we use different word. For plural we use different pronoun. Then for subjective case, when the pronoun is used as a subject, then we have different word, different pronoun. When it is used in place of an object, that is known as objective case. Then again we have a different pronoun for that. Possessive case, when it is used to represent possession, to show possession, then again we have a different pronoun for that. Let us look at the example. What is a singular pronoun? Where the pronoun is only referring to one specific person, you know what the singular mean, right? So that book belongs to me. Now me refers to one singular person. That is why it is a singular pronoun. Then again, let us move on to the plural pronoun, where the pronoun is used to refer to a number of nouns. That is their book, not yours. So there is what plural. That means it is the book belongs to more than one person. So there is showing plural number. Okay. Now we come over to the case. Subjective case, when the pronoun is used in place of a subject. She is at work. So what is the subject over here? She is the subject. Okay. So this is the subjective case of a pronoun. Objective case, when the pronoun is used in place of an object. What is an object? The object is that on which the work has been performed on, right? So he will meet us later. So the work has been performed on what? On us. That is why it is an object, and us is a pronoun. So that is why it is an objective case of a pronoun. That is our clubhouse. So this is showing possession, that the clubhouse belongs to us. So R is the possessive case. Now here is the table which will clear all the words which are used for different person and in different number. Alright. So personal pronoun, when they are used as subject and they are used for first person. What is the word which we use for first person in singular number? That is I. Right? This is the subject. And what will be the object form of this? Objective form of I? It will be me. Right? And when we have to use a possessive pronoun first for first person, which is singular in number, which is singular in singular number. Sorry. Then we use mine. All right. Then moving on to the second person, which is singular, you. For singular and plural in second person, we use you only. Okay. So you, object is also you, but possessive pronouns we use yours. Then we come over to the third person. There are three kinds of personal pronouns. Okay. First person, second person, and third person. Third person for male, singular, we use me. Then for when it is used in place of an object, we use him, right? And when it is used as a possessive pronoun, we use his. Then third person, singular, female, right? We use she for a girl or a woman or a female. Then we use her when it is used in place of an object. Hers is used for possessive pronoun. Now, third person singular, but when it is used for a thing, so it is used in place of the subject. It is again used in place of an object, and its is used when we use it in the form of a possessive pronoun. So we did till here everything was for singular number. Now these three are for plural numbers. All right. First, first what we use for plural in the first person we use we. All right. When you are also included in the lot, then we use we. So for subject we use we. Then for object us is used, and then for possessive pronoun ours. Second person plural, I already told you, you is you only for first person and second person both, right? So this is just the same. Then third person we use they. There is no different categories for male and female in plural because everybody can be included in that. So they is used for subject, and then for object them is used, and theirs is used for possessive. Now we look at the possessive pronoun. What is a possessive pronoun? See, the personal pronouns which indicate the possession of something. That means it shows that something belongs to someone. That means possession. So possession of something are called possessive pronouns. They can be used both in singular and plural form. Alright. Now we look at the example to get a clearer picture of possessive pronoun. See, this dress is mine. That means this dress belongs to me. So when we have to use anything in place of, we have to use the possessive form of the word me. Then what do we use? Mine. We saw in the previous slide. I showed you in the previous slide. See, for me, we use mine. All right. That the books are theirs. Now, the books which we are talking about, they belong to them. So the books are theirs. Okay, this is how we use the possessive pronoun in a sentence. Now, have a look at the difference between possessive pronouns and possessive adjectives because they look somewhat the same, but there's a difference. See, that is my book kept on the table. On the left side, you can see possessive adjective, and on the right side, you can see possessive pronoun. So let us look at the first example. That is my book kept on the table. So this my is followed by a noun. And if you recall, what is the function of an adjective? The function of an adjective is to qualify a noun. So the word, and it is always followed by a noun. So this word my is referring to, is qualifying this book. It is telling that whom does this book belong to, right? So what does it become? It becomes an adjective, a possessive adjective, because it is qualifying the word book. All right. But whereas if we look at the right side of this table, possessive pronoun, how can we say the same sentence using a possessive pronoun? That book kept on the table is mine. Now see, this possessive pronoun is not followed by any noun. Okay, there is no noun following the possessive pronoun. It is ending at this possessive pronoun only the word mine. Right. So it is not qualifying any noun. Rather, it is telling, it is giving the information that who is the owner of this book. That is mine. Okay, I am the owner. So this book is mine. Right. Again, this is our school. This is our school. Again, this word "our" is followed by what? Is followed by the noun. school, by a noun school. So disqualifying this word, this noun school, therefore it is a possessive adjective. And why it is an adjective? Because it is qualifying this noun. And why it is a possessive adjective? Because it is showing possession. See, if it is possessive, that means the function will be the same. It will show possession only. Okay. But the difference is that it will, when you will look at the sentence, you will see that it is followed by a noun, and it will look like it is qualifying the noun. But in case of possessive pronoun, it is not such. Such situation cannot be observed because the possessive pronoun is not followed by any noun. Because possessive pronouns are themselves used in place of noun, so they won't be followed up by any noun further. All right. So this is the difference which you should remember when we will do adjectives also. Again, the same picture would come over there. So just keep this thing in mind, the difference between possessive adjective and pronoun. So Bhavya has problem in the difference between possessive pronoun and possessive adjective. Let me see who will explain. Raise your hands. Uh, yes, Anushka, go ahead.
Ma'am, the possessive adjectives are always followed by a noun, whereas the possessive pronouns are not followed by the nouns.
Good. Angel, what is your explanation for this?
Non-adjective always modify a noun. So this my is an adjective. It is followed by a noun, and possessive pronouns do not need a noun to. They do not modify a noun, so it always comes at the end. The pronoun. That's why mine is always coming in the end, and it is a pronoun.
Yes. Yes, Angel of 7C. Angel, you want to explain? Okay, Unnati, go ahead.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, Angel. Yes, Angel.
Ma'am, the difference between possessive pronoun and possessive adjectives is that possessive adjectives is before the noun, and possessive pronouns are at the end.
But what is the major difference function-wise? What is their function? I told you that the possessive adjective, the function of adjective is always to qualify a noun. So it is see, my can be seen describing the noun book over here. So that is why it is a possessive adjective. And here that book kept on the table is mine. So mine is a pronoun and it is a possessive pronoun because it is showing the possession. And mine is used in place of a noun. That is why it is a pronoun. Okay, as simple as that. So Bhavya, is your doubt clear
Okay,
now?
ma'am. Mhm. Uh, mhm. When
Bhavya, understood?
mhm.
You can show me your answer. All right. Now you people can lower your
Thank you
hands.
ma'am, for explaining. Thank you, ma'am, for explaining me.
Most welcome. And all those who have explained, very good. Okay. So now moving on, you can see the possessive adjectives on the left side and possessive pronouns for the same thing. Okay, my, when my is used, that shows that it is a possessive adjective. Okay, my will always be followed by a noun. It needs a noun in order to make sense. All right. Then, whereas for possessive pronoun, we use mine. Okay. Possessive adjectives have his, and possessive pronoun also we use his only. For possessive adjective, we use her when we are referring to the third person female. But for possessive pronouns, we use hers, adding an s towards the end. Possessive adjective for the things or animals, it's okay, and the same for possessive pronoun also. For possessive adjective, are is used when we are referring to the uh, first person plural. Then ours is used in case of possessive pronoun for first person plural. Your is used for possessive adjective. Yours is used for possessive pronoun for second person, singular or plural both. And then there is used for possessive adjective, and theirs is used for possessive pronoun for third person plural. Okay. So this is the table. You can refer to this always in order to see which pronoun you have to use where, depending upon the sentence. Now we come over to reflexive pronouns. Now, reflexive pronouns are very easy to identify because they are always followed by this word self or selves. Okay, self or selves. But let us look at the function. Pronouns like himself, themselves, myself, etc., where the action is being performed on oneself. Okay, when the action is performed on the subject only, then uh, we use a reflexive pronoun for that. Okay, when the object and the subject are exactly the same. Let us look at the example. I is the subject over here. I hope you will understand the what is the subject and what is an object. The doer of the action is the subject, and the action and the one on which the action has been performed is known as the object. Okay, I decorated the room all by myself. So this again, the object is what? The object is the same person, I only. So the object and subject are same. That is why we are using myself over here, right? So it is a reflexive pronoun because it is referring to the same person, which is there in the same person that is there in the subject. So who decorated the room? I decorated the room. How? By myself. So I decorated the room by myself. Then she drove 500 kilometers by herself. Right? So she is the subject over here. Then again herself is referring to whom? Herself is referring to the same person, she only. Okay. So the subject and the object are just the same. That is why we will use herself. Alright, so she drove 500 kilometers by herself. That is the reflexive pronoun. Okay, so reflexive pronouns are the pronouns where the subject and the object is the same, and where the action is being performed on the subject only. Uh, when it is referring to the subject only, then we use reflexive pronoun, and they always end with self or selves. Okay, for the singular ones we use self, and for the plural we use selves. I will give you one example to make the things clear. Even clearer. See, when I say you should prepare yourselves for the test. Okay, here I have used what? I've used yourselves. SELVES. That means I am talking to all of you, to all the people present, to all the students present in this live class, right? So you should prepare yourselves for this test. That means it is used as a plural number, okay? But when suppose I am talking to one singular person, when I'm talking to suppose anybody like Angel, if I'm talking, so I have to say that she has to do her work herself. So how will I say? Do your work yourself. Okay? Here it is now acting as a singular number, right? Self is the singular number. Okay. So when we are referring to more than one person, and we use yourselves, EES. But when we are talking to one person only, then we use yourself. Okay. So for plural, this reflexive pronoun takes selves. All right. For others, for other plural pronouns, I will just write it down for you people. Ourselves is the plural one. Then themselves, plural. Okay. Yourselves. So these are all plural in number. Whereas for singular number, we use self. That is clear already. Okay. Now, the nouns which are almost similar to reflexive pronouns are the emphatic pronouns. As the name suggests, the emphatic pronouns are used to lay emphasis on a particular noun. Okay, the first function is just the same, that the action is being performed on the subject only, but one additional function of emphatic pronoun is to bring out is to lay stress upon something, to lay emphasis on something. All right, so that is why they are known as emphatic pronouns. He himself told me this. See, he himself told me this. Now, what does this mean? Just give me a second. Yes. So look at this first example. He himself told me this, right? So he told me this. If you remove this word, if you don't see this word himself, then also the sentence is complete. He told me this. But now, when we add this pronoun himself, that means it is laying stress, it is laying emphasis on the fact that he told me this all by himself. So he himself told me this. I finished the job myself. So now, if you remove this word, hide this word myself, if you don't look at this word myself, then again you will see that the sentence is making a complete sense. It is complete in itself. But when we are adding this word, its emphatic pronoun myself towards the end, then it is laying stress, or it is laying emphasis on the fact that I finished the job all by myself. So it is laying the emphasis. They themselves admitted their mistakes. Again, the same thing, themselves with the addition of this word themselves again, an emphasis is being laid on this sentence. Um, uh, the sentence has the emphasis, right, of the fact that they admitted their mistakes. We ourselves witnessed the accident. We witnessed the accident is also a complete sentence, but when we say we ourselves witnessed the accident, that means again it is laying emphasis. So um, it is an emphatic pronoun over here because it is doing the job of laying emphasis on the sentence or on the information which is already complete in itself, but we want to lay more emphasis on it, then we add emphatic pronoun. It can be used right after the pronoun, or it can be used anywhere in the sentence, but you just have to look for the emphatic pronoun by removing this reflexive pronoun from its place. And if you find that the sentence is complete in itself, that means it is an emphatic pronoun. But when you remove this reflexive pronoun and the sentence is not making a complete sense, that means it is a reflexive pronoun. Okay. See, in the first sentence, I decorated the room all by myself. Okay. So if you hide this word, let me write it up. first sentence was I decorated the room all by. Now, if I leave the sentence till here, is it making a complete sense? No, it is not making a complete sense unless and until we add a reflexive pronoun towards its end. Now, if the sentence is complete because we have added this reflexive pronoun at the end of the sentence. Okay, so wherever we have see, this is the major thing which you can note if you want to identify a reflexive pronoun and an emphatic pronoun, or if you want to look at the difference between reflexive and emphatic pronoun. One is for function wise. Okay, I've already told you the function of reflexive and emphatic pronoun, and the other one is to see whether it is making a complete sense or not, whether the sentence is making a complete sense without this reflexive pronoun. So the word was not making a complete sense when we were uh, removing when we did not add this word myself. Then this word was not making the sentence was not making a complete sense. Okay, but when suppose I say what was the sentence? He completed the job himself, or he completed the task himself. Now see, if I remove this word himself from it, the sentence is complete. So if we will add himself here, then if this himself is an emphatic pronoun, now it is working as an emphatic pronoun. This himself can be used right after the pronoun here, himself. He himself completed the task, or he completed the task himself, right? So in both the cases, himself is doing the job of an emphatic pronoun, right? Here also it is showing it is doing the work of an emphatic pronoun, and here also it is an emphatic pronoun, okay? Because when it is just doing the work of laying emphasis on the sentence, right, on the information which has already been given. So this is the difference between the emphatic and reflexive pronoun. I hope it is clear now to everyone. Now let us see that like we have seen the possessive pronouns, we see what all reflexive pronouns we use with different subjects. See, with I we use myself, for we use ourselves, for you we use yourself or yourselves, as I gave you the example, right? Then for she we use herself, for they we use themselves. Okay, so we'll stop here, and let me take your doubts. Now, since you people have understood and you do not have any questions to ask, let us move on to the practice session. So let's practice. All right. The question is you have to identify the kind of pronouns in the following sentences. Let's have a look at these 5 sentences quickly and then raise your hands if you know the answer. All right. The first sentence, he went to the market to buy the chocolates for himself. Ranjan.
Ma'am, it is a reflexive pronoun.
There are other pronouns as well. A sentence can have more than one pronoun.
Ma'am, and a personal pronoun. He is a
Yes,
personal pronoun and himself is a reflexive pronoun.
very good. So in your exams, when you get such kind of question, you have to write the word, the pronoun also. Okay. The answer for this will be he. Then you will put a small dash and write down personal pronoun. In the next line, you will write down himself and put a small dash. You will write then its kind. That is reflexive pronoun. Okay. Moving on to the next one. They visited their aunt's house. Anushka Sengupta.
Ma'am, they is demons. No, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, they is the personal pronoun, and myself is the possessive pronoun.
Prajem, what is your answer?
Ma'am, both are possessive.
Anybody else having a different answer? Navya?
Ma'am, they and there are, ma'am, they is personal pronoun, and ma'am, there is also personal pronoun.
Okay, all of you lower down your hands, and if you have a different answer, then only keep your hand raised. Yes, all of you have the same answer. Yes. Angel Singh has a different answer. Yes, Angel, what is your answer?
Ma'am, it is a possessive adjective.
Which word?
Ma'am, dear.
And what is the pronoun in this sentence?
Ma'am, they.
Which kind?
Ma'am, it is a personal pronoun, it's
All
plural,
right.
but
Okay. Let me hear out other answers also. Bhavya, Angel, you can move it.
Ma'am, they is a personal pronoun.
So there's only one pronoun in the sentence.
Ma'am, m-
Yes or no?
ma'am, ma'am, there is also an personal pronoun.
No. Only Angel has given the correct answer and a very good answer. They in this sentence only they is the pronoun which is present in the sentence. They is a personal pronoun in third person. There is a possessive adjective. All right, because it is what is followed by the noun. This word there is qualifying the noun aunt's house. All right. So only one pronoun is here, that is they. What do we use as a possessive pronoun? For they, we use theirs. You will always find an S towards the end of the word, right? All right. Next, very good angel. Uh,
thank
Angel
you,
Singh.
ma'am.
Okay. Next, this pen is yours. Vaishnavi Pandey.
Ma'am, it is possessive pronoun.
You have to tell me the word also.
Ma'am, those.
Good, very good. Yours is a possessive pronoun now. Next, I myself clean the room. Let me see. Zehra. Yes, Zehra. Unnati.
Ma'am, it's a reflexive pronoun.
The reflexive pronoun. How many of you
Ma'am,
agree with her
myself.
answer?
Ma'am, it's also a personal pronoun. Ma'am, I think.
You think? You have to be sure. You don't have to guess. Yanshi, what is your answer?
Ma'am, ma-
Ma'am, I is a personal pronoun and myself is a reflexive pronoun.
Akshit.
ma'am,
Yes. Who is it?
ma'am, I was going to say sure, but ma'am, she said sorry.
Okay. Okay. Whom did I ask? Akshit. Yes, Akshay. How many of you think myself is an emphatic pronoun? Raise your hands. Alright, now you'll have to give me the reason for your answer. Genia, why do you think it is an emphatic pronoun and not a reflexive pronoun?
Good morning, ma'am. The reason, ma'am, this is the emphatic pronoun because if we remove the word myself and if we say I clean the room, ma'am, it is the complete sentence.
So this is the second trick which I gave you to identify, but the actual function is the actual function of the word myself is to lay emphasis. All right, is to make the sentence um, is to make the sentence look more emphasized, right? That is why this is an emphatic form. Okay, Gina, your answer is very correct. Okay, very good. But you should know the reason also, that the function wise also you should know. Alright, Gina. So
Yes,
I
ma'am.
is a
Yes,
personal pronoun and myself is an emphatic pronoun. Last one. I told him not to touch the things which are not his, otherwise he will invite trouble for himself. So many pronouns have been used in this sentence. Let me see who will give the correct answer. Who will give the correct answer now? Let me see. Atal Srivastava. Yes.
Ma'am, ma'am,
Hmm.
ma'am, I and him are first pronoun.
First pronoun?
Hello, ma'am, I and him are personal pronoun,
Yes. Okay.
and
That's all.
himself is and himself and himself is reflexive pronoun.
All
Hello,
right. Yes. So this is your answer. I'm not on call with you. Just don't say hello. Okay.
ma'am, himself
Anybody
is
having?
reflexive pronoun.
All right. I got your answer, Athar. Anirudh, what is your answer?
Ma'am, ma'am, my answer is also that, ma'am, myself is a reflexive pronoun and I is a personal pronoun and him is also a personal pronoun.
There's no myself in this
Ma'am,
sentence, Anirudh. Himself.
ma'am,
Ma'am,
he is
sorry,
also a
himself.
personal pronoun.
Please don't talk. Don't speak in between. I'll come to you. Okay. Keep your hands raised. Who has not got the chance to answer so far? Angel 7C.
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, there is five pronouns used here, ma'am.
There
I,
are five.
him, his. Ma'am, it's the first is I, him, his, and he is ma'am personal pronoun, and himself is emphatic pronoun.
You have identified, you have picked out the pronouns, but the kinds are not correct. Types are not correct.
Okay, ma'am.
Mayank, Mayank bin.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I is personal pronoun and ma'am just the
And
things and ma'am himself is emphatic.
okay. Genia, give the correct answer. Give the correct answer. Let me see if you have the correct answer.
ma'am, I is a personal pronoun.
Hmm.
Him is also a personal pronoun. Not to
Yes.
touch this. think, ma'am, his is a possessive pronoun and he is a personal pronoun and himself is a reflexive pronoun.
Absolutely correct. Okay, so we have got all the questions done now, and you people have performed really well. So I hope the things are clear so far. We have done four kinds of pronouns. The rest we'll take up tomorrow.